You know, we didn't make any really major changes today, Jay. I think
No, but it was fun. We didn't hit the driver last week either.
Yeah, exactly.
It was fun.
I wanted to make sure we attacked that today.
Yeah.
All right, Jim, thank you for the session today. Wanted to talk about a couple of things we worked on today. So you brought an 8-iron and a driver today. I brought an 8-iron and a driver out here with me today to demonstrate a couple of things we want to continue to work on. One, swing's definitely looking better. You know, right when you showed up initially, had to remind you still, you're doing a good job of keeping it pretty closed here. But as we got to the top, that left arm was getting a little bit high again. We do need to make sure that we continue to get that left arm behind you, but just that little bit more. Because what it stops you from doing is that extra bit of lifting with those arms. We saw that problem pop up a few times. I think that was probably the cause of some of the fat ones where you kind of dove a little bit down, too far down into it, was the ones that would start in behind you here. Face would start to get a little high in this way and wrap around your head, and then that kind of cutting across your neck feel there. So just as a reminder, nice and closed here, nice and far behind you here, so feeling like this right elbow. The cheesy description is kind of a pizza pan disposition, like as though you were kind of balancing a pizza tray here as a waiter or a waitress. So, when you did that, we reminded you of that a little bit. I thought we saw better results generally with the 8-iron there. Then we transitioned to the driver, and one thing that I demonstrated to you is what I'll show you again here, which is just that our irons sit, if we kind of sole the club properly, at a much higher angle this way than the club sits this way. So what that means is that to hit a same result with our 8-iron and with our driver, we have to have your driver coming more from the inside, more up, and allowing more closure to that face to get the same result. Because the club is upright more, it's easier for it to align further left, which is why people who slice the ball tend to be given clubs that are aligned much more upright. So with the driver being much more flat, we reminded you, hey, let's make sure we get that club nice and behind you, feel like it's this way, and always be working that little extra bit to closure, meaning to help that face close. When we did that, I thought you saw hit some great drives, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, they hit a couple good for me.
Yeah, very, very well.
One question.
Yeah.
Last week you told me I was sitting too much and hit.
Yeah, much better.
But the driver, same.
So
Or do you want me further.
So that's a great question, actually. Okay. So the truth of the matter is that there's not a single answer to that. There are people that set up exactly the same to their driver as they do their 8-iron, and then make changes with their golf swing throughout to create that little bit more shallowness. Some people find it easier, as you're describing, to feel a little bit more back this way. What that does is it makes your swing feel a little bit more around you, a little bit more around you this way. The honest truth is that I don't know which is better for you. I think it's possible that you might feel more comfortable with your driver sitting a little bit more than you do with your 8-iron, right? The purpose of having our posture up over this way and those hands right below is that we are able to stay in our posture and create better ground contact with our 8-iron. With our driver, it's not about the ground contact, right? It's about making sure that we're swinging shallowly up through it and creating good speed. So if it feels better to you and you feel like you're hitting good results, we'll just have to let the ball tell us which of those two things is better for you. Okay. To my eye, it looked like you were setting up more like you were before with your driver.
I was, yeah.
Where you were sitting into it a little bit more. No, you're absolutely right. I think that's why you asked, right? And because you were getting good results, I didn't say anything. Okay. Because it's just a slightly different club. Club's sitting a little bit flatter. Our arms can extend a little bit more because it's less important about ground contact. It's more about hitting up through it. Right. And that looked natural, so that's why we didn't make that adjustment. Okay. Make sense?
Sounds good.
Beautiful. Thank you for the session. Yeah, that just that little bit of difference, I think will help.